Hey guys, I'm Chase Brogan, and today in this video we're going to take a closer look at the HyperArcade Systems 8TB game drive. Now, this has 4 different front ends for starters. That means that you're going to get big box, launch box on here. You're going to get CoinOps, you're going to get HyperSpin, and you're also going to get RetroArch. So no matter what front end you favor and prefer, you'll be able to access it and all the games included on here with ease. So this has over 30,000 games, all your classic arcade games on here. You've got a ton of virtual pinball games on here, and then you have all your home consoles all the way up to PS2, and they're complete, which is really amazing. So I'm going to jump into this. We're going to kind of tour through what is offered on here. I'll try to mix it up a little bit because it's a whole lot to comb through. So we'll mix it up. We'll jump a little bit around from different front end to front end today, and then we'll demo a couple games, and I'll talk about what my experience was like using this. Let's dive into it. All right, guys, so we are here in CoinOps to kick everything off. We have each of our collections across the bottom here. And as we navigate, we get a nice bold background as well for each of these. But let's go back over to main, which is our first one. This is where we land as soon as we dive in here. And if we go into this, you can see the layout within. So we have a wheel on the right-hand side with our logos for this collection. Left-hand side, it's going to give us the arcade with the marquee where you have the graphic for the title across the top there. Notice that everything changes title by title as well. Definitely like the way that this looks here. We also get the video preview here as well in the actual cabinet. So this is just beautifully put together. Just very seamless here, very easy to navigate. Everything's in alphabetical order. So definitely loving the way that this looks. And you can see right now we're displaying 14 of 3,886 games just for this one main collection. So this is about to be a massive build that we tore through because almost 4,000 titles just in the first collection here. And there's no duplicates. Everything is put together really nicely here. So we're going to back out of this collection. You just hit the D-pad left and we are back out. So we also have right here another main collection inside here, 128 games. And I'm seeing some of my favorite titles right off the bat here. We've got WrestleFest here. Look how that populates in. You not only have the marquee at the top, the video preview, but also the control deck populates in beautifully. We also have WrestleMania, and this is the actual arcade deck. I mean, I have this arcade cabinet here that I've created from an Arcade 1-Up, and this is exactly how it's meant to look. So not all of them are going to be exact, but it's beautiful to find the ones that actually do, just like WrestleMania there. So I'm loving this. This is just put together so nicely, and again, and just super easy to navigate here. So we get the Three Stooges. I mean, take a look at this one. Very cool game here. All your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle titles here. Alright, so we're going to back out. And we have MAME 4-Way. We have Cave over here. Bunch of different specific titles that would fall under like racing games. This is all racing games, so it's a wide range of titles from different collections and emulators put together. So if you like racing games, you can go in here and explore all types of racing games here, like Aqua Jet, for example. Really cool. Almost like a Hydro Thunder style game or like a Wave Racer. Lots of good stuff. California Speed's another one of my favorites here. Chase HQ. Sure, we got there. I was just going to say, hopefully we have our cruising games in here. We've got all the Daytonas in here as well. I mean, look at this one. Later release for Daytona as well. But you have the classics. Dirt Devils, awesome game right here. Dirt Devils, I love that one. Tons of great things. So we'll back out. We'll keep it moving though. We've got Hyper Neo Geo 64. We've got MAME kids games in here. So lots of custom collections like Midway Classics, Namco Classics, Nintendo Classics. Tons of stuff. So we'll just kind of scroll through these. I'm going to keep this moving as best I can because this is going to be a long video diving into 4 different parts to this build. It's going to be pretty, insane. Gun games here. We got to go into gun games though because I'm a huge light gun fan. And we've got we've got later releases in here. Area 51 with Maximum Force. Loved this arcade back in the day. Behind Enemy Lines is a cool one. We've got some big buck hunter games in here. Trophy Bucks was cool. Gotta have Carnival. Look at that. Chiller. Confidential Mission is a great one as well. Some Die Hard Trilogy. So there's Thomas Wave stuff in here. There's Sega Dreamcast stuff in here. It's just pulled from, I mean, MAME, Classic Arcade, just titles pulled from all over the place that fall into this category. Haunted Museum is another great one. These games right here, though, are actually underrated. The Afghanistan, the Heavy Fire Afghanistan games, really cool. House of the Dead, of course, tons of House of the Dead games here. We'll back out of this collection now, keep it moving. Got Contra, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, all of these, and I'll jump into one so you guys can see, like Donkey Kong, for example. We'll jump in here. You have all your different games in one collection. So Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong Country, this is the competition edition. The original, the sequel, third one. So back out. Lots of great stuff. Kirby games. So definitely like the way that they put together all these custom collections like this. It's a great way to really explore what's included on here. Star Wars games, Street Fighter, Star Fox, Super Mario, Tomb Raider, Twisted Metal, alright, WWE games. We gotta jump in here, right? Road to WrestleMania 18, this would be the Game Boy Advance game. Survivor Series, another Game Boy Advance. Day of Reckoning, this is a GameCube game. And looks like we get those cycled through again. So this one right here is actually just WrestleMania 18, if I'm not mistaken. This is GameCube. This one would be Game Boy Advance. This one would be, well, this was released for a couple different systems. King of the Ring, Raw, got Lex Luger there against Luna Vachon. We've got SmackDown 1 and 2, Super WrestleMania. Lots of amazing titles. And then, of course, my personal favorite, WrestleFest here. WrestleMania Arcade Games, another great one. Love it. So only one title here, and it's Superstars. That's the only one that doesn't have scraped data here. You could fix this yourself if you wanted to, though. So we'll back out. What else do we have? Capcom System 1 through 3, Neo Geo. Got some Open Bore. Daphne in here. Thomas Wave on Dreamcast, regular Thomas Wave, Sega Model 1, 2, and 3. 3 is my personal favorite. Inside here you'll find some Daytona USA 2. You'll find Dirt Devils in here. You'll find the Harley Davidson game, which is an awesome one. Lost World, Jurassic Park. You'll also find Ocean Hunter's pretty cool. Scud Race. This is my favorite, though. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. This was a phenomenal game. And look at the arcade cabinet that you have here. I mean, this is the true design of the actual cabinet. So I love when things line up like that. It just makes the experience so much better. I mean, I'm having fun and I'm not even playing games right now. I'm just going down memory lane, enjoying this. So we'll keep it moving. Sega Naomi here. Great stuff. I mean, Genesis. Sega 32X is over here. Sega CD, Dreamcast. We got to go into... And we even have a Dreamcast import collection here. We also have Dreamcast indies in here. But let's go into regular Dreamcast. How many titles? 347 games inside here. Insane. And we've got Royal Rumble. I love that game. It's probably my favorite wrestling game for Dreamcast. But there's so much in here. Virtua Tennis. Love that game. Virtua Cop. You have Virtua Cop 2. Yeah, there we go. Virtua Cop 2. UFC. First UFC game here. The Typing of the Dead. This is the House of the Dead, but you use a keyboard and you type these words on screen as quickly as possible. And if you type them quickly, your shot is registered on your, zombie in this case. So, kind of a cool twist on the House of the Dead. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, that's my favorite of all the Tony Hawk titles, even the later released ones. Tomb Raider in here. Wow. I mean, this is insane what is included. And with there being so much on here, I mean, it's almost impossible for me to show you guys everything without taking, probably like 8 hours of your time with all that's included on here. But you're getting the idea. I mean, this is absolutely incredible here. Silent Scope. Love that game. So we'll back out of this collection. We'll keep it moving forward, though. So we went through these: Sega Game Gear, Master System Import, Mega Drive, Mega CD 32X Import, Sega Saturn. How many Saturn games in here? Let's take a peek. 307 Sega Saturn games. You can see how everything's laid out. I mean, attention to detail is just top notch here. All right, so we'll keep it moving here. We've got Sega Saturn Japan titles here, so these are going to be some imports. And if we jump in here, we've got 1,112 games. That's pretty insane. Sufami Turbo, we've got WiiWare, we've got lots of, wow, I mean, all our classics are in here. This is incredible. ColecoVision, we saw some Atari collections, Super Nintendo, Vectrex, Super Nintendo CD, Neo Geo CD. We'll jump into Neo Geo CD, 8 titles in here, so not a massive one. We'll back out over here for, let's check out Super Nintendo. How many Super Nintendo games? 785. And again, just attention to detail. The background's amazing. The images on screen, the video previews that populate in seamlessly, logos on the right-hand side. I mean, this is just incredible. Just really great attention to detail on every aspect of this build. We'll back out. And let's keep it moving here. We've got PlayStation. How many PlayStation games? 1,781 PS1 games. And again, the background's amazing. The video previews look great. Great stuff. All right, we'll back out. We've got PS2 over here now. For PS2, 1,744 games. And we've even got hacks here, I'm seeing. Other than the hacks, those you're not going to be able to get scraped data for, but everything else being populates in great. You got your 007 games to kick this off. I love this one, From Russia with Love. Also, big fan of Agent Under Fire. I mean, all of these are great, but those are the titles that I remember the most. This was one of the later releases for PS2, actually the last 007 game, in fact. So I don't remember this one. Not much, anyways. I mean, I played it, but not much. But the other ones, I mean, I grew up playing. Great stuff, though. I mean, 1,744 PS2 games. I mean, it's worth it for just this collection alone, with this entire drive here. It's incredible. I mean, with those numbers, I mean, you have virtually every single game. We'll back out. PC Engine, CD-ROM. We've got Super Graphics, TurboGrafx 16, NES hacks, Nintendo 64, and Nintendo 64 disk drive, and imports for Nintendo 64. How many titles for the imports? 141 games there. Let's check out disk drive. That's only a handful of titles, I think. So 11 games here. But the regular N64 collection, 302 games. So it's not every single game, but it's a lot of games. And I bet we have the majority of, the mainstream ones at least. So WrestleMania 2000, one of my favorites. No Mercy, probably the most popular game for N64. Got to have your WCW NWO Revenge, though. Macho and Hogan there. We got WCW versus NWO World Tour. We got Hogan there as well. Nitro, Mayhem. Mayhem I always loved the most. Apart from Revenge. But Mayhem, a lot of people slept on that. I always liked it. This one I've always said is definitely not my favorite, but not as bad as I remember at the same time. So, do we have all of our Mario titles? We got the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters in here. Got to check out Mario. Super Smash Brothers, Super Mario 64. And then we'll go up a little ways further to the M titles, and we'll make sure that we have Mario Kart, Mario Golf, we got Paper Mario, so I'm confident that that's going to be in here. We got all our NFL Blitz titles, NBA games, NASCAR, Mortal Kombat. Alright, yeah, we've got them all here. We've got Mario Golf, we've got Mario Kart 64, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, Mario Tennis, we got some Mega Man going on here, Madden, Zelda games are in here. This is awesome. Alright, we'll keep it moving. GameCube now. GameCube, 642 games right here. Laid out beautifully. Logos on the right-hand side wheel. Video preview automatically populates in. We've got the console background as well. Love it. I mean, and we've got, if they've got WWE Crush Hour, I'm confident that they have all your favorite titles in here, because this, for me anyways, was not my favorite game, especially for wrestling games. It's like a twisted metal wrestling game. It's weird. Backing out. All right, we've got Super Famicom here, NES, Family Computer Disk System, DS. How many DS games do we have? Wow, 1,611. We've got Game & Watch, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. We should have, what, like 1,010 games here. Excellent. We've got Game Boy Color. Should be like 6 something. All right, 476. All right, so not every single title, but still pretty stacked here. Loved playing this on road trips. I mean, this was my game right here. All right, we'll back out. Pokemon Mini. We've got Super Game Boy. Now, Super Game Boy is essentially Game Boy Color. So you're going to have a lot of crossover here, but it is what it is. Only 145 games. So they're actually eliminating the crossover. I really love that, because I would say 9 out of 10 now, but 10 out of 10 in the past, this collection here is identical to Game Boy Color. So the fact that they have gone in here and made it different, I have the utmost respect for that. Virtual Boy, 20 titles in here. I can respect it. It's not a collection I play a whole lot myself, but definitely fun to go down memory lane if you grew up playing Virtual Boy. We'll back out. We've got PSP in here with 692 games. Some of these titles you'll find in the PS2 collection as well, like From Russia with Love 007. We'll back out. We've also got Wonder Swan Color, Atari Lynx, Pocket Station, which is one you don't typically see. Pocket Station's cool. 102 titles in here. We've also got PSP Minis games, Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color. We got, wow, pinball in here. Wow, a lot of pinball in here. Pinball FX, 2 and 3. Wow, these tables are absolutely insane. So just take a look at some of these tables. Like, this is a 3D experience here. Like, I have a Virtua pinball machine that has these tables built into it. It's incredible. But to be able to play all these games right here, like this collection right here is 96 games. This Alien game is insane. Let's see what else is in here, though. There's some Williams Classic games, like this is the Monster Pack, I think it's called here. Let's see. Lots of cool stuff here, like twists on old school tables. The Jurassic Park ones here are insane. Like, take a look at this one. So as you're playing this, you have the dinosaurs that interact with the gameplay. I mean, it's insane. The Jaws one here is incredible. You have the fin going across. E.T. one I'm really familiar with. This is one of my favorites. But you have all these Star Wars ones. Like, take a look at all these interactive Star Wars tables. And this is just Pinball FX 3, right? This one's one of my favorites right here. Love this one. So we'll back out, but incredible. And you have all of these. So Pinball Arcade, if we go in here, you can see, take a look at that. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. So it's like a VR sort of experience. Alright, so we'll keep it moving. Fighting games, PC games, MSX, and then we're back to settings here. And then, of course, MAME, which is where we kicked everything off. But let's jump over to the next area of this drive. Alright, so we're now in RetroBat, and the cool thing about RetroBat is they have an all games list. That's your master list, and it gives you the count right here at the bottom. So 26,365 total games on this setup. Love that. We also have favorites over here to the right. You can custom create this collection, add all your favorite games in there for easy access. Beyond that, though, we have all the same collections that we've seen so far. Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, Jaguar, Lynx, Sufami Turbo, Wonder Swan Color, and it gives you the game count on here as well. So 94 games for this one. ColecoVision has 140 games. Amiga over here has 1 game, Amiga CD32. 163 games. And these look like the same. Oh, that one's, yeah, these look like the same here, but one of them I believe is going to be like the imports, so they do differ, and you'll see at the bottom different game count as well, 40 games versus the 163 games. So MAME over here with 3,337 games, so it's the exact same offering as what we saw previously, just laid out a little bit differently. Sega Model 3, same 23 games that we saw before. We could jump into this collection if we want to, and you can see all the different games. You can see how they populate in. Again, it's going to be the logo that morphs into the video preview. So we'll go down to Star Wars. So we'll keep it moving, but same deal as what we saw before. Just for me, because I'm a RetroBat guy, I'm a big fan of RetroBat as a front end. This is going to be probably how I play these games. 304 games for N64. It's just second nature to me to be able to navigate this. I know all the controls, I know all the settings adjustments, and that's what's really cool about drives like this that are 4 different parts. You can go to whichever front end you want and which one you enjoy most, whichever one you're most familiar with and comfortable with, and you can enjoy your gaming experience over there. You don't have to stick with just Launchbox or Big Box or CoinOps or RetroBat. You can go to whichever front end is most comfortable for you. So I love that aspect of this, but we already toured through exactly what is included on here, what collections you can find with ease, and you know, I'm not going to waste too much time going through the same stuff as what we already did. I just want to show you guys around this. There are some like casino games. I don't remember seeing that on the other side. It could have been in there, but there's just so many collections here. The only thing I'll say about RetroBat is you don't have those custom collections in here. Like you don't have that Sonic specific collection. You don't have that Super Mario collection in here. So you'll find slightly different offerings, you know, on different front ends, but still, at the end of the day, you'll still have access to the same stuff on both sides. Alright, so now we are in HyperSpin. Now HyperSpin has a really cool layout here. A lot of bells and whistles. Now we can navigate down and you'll see that you highlight each collection and then it kind of pulls up on screen here, shows you a little video preview, and then you're able to actually launch it if you want to by simply hitting your start button. So I'm going to hit start here. We're going to jump into this collection and you can see the layout here, which is really cool. Each collection, again, it shows you a logo that then morphs into full screen with the video preview here. It's really sharp, lots of bells and whistles, very well polished, gives you all the information that you need when the video game was created, the title of it there. You can see that it was made in 1995 by Midway. Love this game, 2-on-2, Open Ice Challenge, awesome NBA Jam style hockey game. But we can continue down. We can go to each of these collections here. We can, or excuse me, each of these titles here. So like, let me find another one that I really love. We'll go down a little bit further. We'll go to like NBA Jam here. So you can see, beautifully laid out here. I mean, so far, HyperSpin to me is the coolest layout here. It's the best way to get the full experience of this drive. Just, this looks really sharp. If you put this on an arcade cabinet, if you put this just on your screen, it's going to look cool no matter what, even if you're not even in games. I mean, I'm having fun so far just going down memory lane. I haven't even jumped into a game yet, so really love this. We've got Dark Legacy here, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, one of my all-time favorite games. Just looking at this takes me back to the arcade. We also have all the older Gauntlet titles as well. Gauntlet 2, so you can kind of see the evolution of these titles and you know where they started and where they ended up here. This was again the last one of all the arcade ones. Light years different than, you know, something like this, which would have been the original Gauntlet. So very cool stuff here. Love Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Great arcade game here. So we'll back out. And now what we can do is continue through each of these. And it's going to be pretty much the same as what we experienced with CoinOps. You're going to get a lot of the same windows. A lot of the same custom collections, like you can see we have Tecmo here, we have our Nintendo classics here, but you get more menu screens, you get more graphics for the titles. Like here, we've got Donkey Kong here, and as we launch into this, you can see each of the titles is exactly the same deal. We highlight, like we'll go down here to Contra 3. It morphs into the video preview of this. It just really looks well polished, so big fan of that. Lethal Weapon, another great game here. Go to Mario Brothers, the play choice. Looks great. So we'll keep it moving backwards now, and we can go through each of these collections still. Let's drop into Daphne here. Let's highlight Space Ace. There we go. I mean, you can't tell me that's not cool. That looks incredible right there. And we can go down. We'll find Dragon's Lair. Should be a little bit further down. Another great one, Cliffhanger. Love that game as well. Here we go, Dragon's Lair. And just beautiful graphics on here. Just very well put together. I love it. So we'll back out of this collection altogether. We'll keep it moving. And we already went through this. We saw the custom collections, so I'm not going to spend too much time on here, but this one here, which is, again, HyperSpin, it's just going to give you a little bit more. So we've got the Tekken collection here. Like, let's highlight Metal Slug, right? We'll go into Metal Slug. And then once you're in your collection, you can start going through and finding which title you want to dive into. And they've got everything in this because it's a custom collection. So like we have Metal Slug for Game Boy Advance in here, which is obviously simplified from some of the other options. We have Neo Geo, of course. We'll have this for like PSP. We'll have it for all of the different collections that are included on here. So really a great setup here. We'll back out once again. Keep it moving. Ninja Turtles, we've got the Simpsons one here. Let's actually jump into Simpsons because I'm sure this has got some great stuff in here. Lots of Simpsons games were released over the years. So let's find Simpsons Arcade, which would be, or actually Road Rage is an awesome one too. You can see how that populates in. But here's the Simpsons Arcade game. Great graphics, great everything about this. I mean, it's just immerses you in it, and we aren't, and again, just aren't even in the game yet. I mean, this is incredible. Lots of great stuff. So we'll back out, keep it moving a little bit more here. And 64 is going to be a lot of what we saw already, but great screens, very interactive. We got the console visible here. We'll go into the actual collection, and again, you can see all your games. We have Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I mean, that is so incredible. I love that. I love the way that this looks. I'm a huge indie fan myself. Hydro Thunder, another one of my favorite games. I love that we get to see the actual cartridge here. Along with the video preview is huge. Background as well. Let's go to Gauntlet Legends. Love this game. My all-time favorite video game right here. WCW NWO Revenge. So we saw the same video preview on the other areas of this drive, but we haven't seen anything as interactive as this, where we have the actual box for the game. We have the video preview going on. We have the N64 logo across the top. We've got the console in the background, the controller in the background. To me, again, HyperSpin is just where it's at. I mean, this is definitely the more immersive, cool, polished experience so far. Not to say that any of the other options, didn't look good. They certainly did, but This is just so much better in my opinion.
The Rams set to receive. And that return sets up the offense with very good field position.
First and 30.
Here we go.
48! 48!
And he just got a heaping dose of pain right there.
Oh, that was fantastic!
Second and short.
Line up for the field goal.
Hi!
Let's it go. Unbelievable catch. And the Rams get the first down.
First and
Here's the
goal.
kick.
Hi!
To his right. Unleashes. Right in there.
That was pure luck.
Second and
Here's
goal.
the kick.
Hi! Count it, baby! Touchdown!
Traps make some objects move.
To serve.
Love 15. Love 30.
All right, guys, we jumped in here, and man, does this have a lot of games. I mean, PS2 had me just absolutely blown away. GameCube as well. These are collections that are super deep, tons of titles in here, and I've been into emulation now for a number of years. I've put together my own builds, I've reviewed a lot of builds, and this one here is such a nice setup here. It's put together beautifully, seamless in fact. You see the transitions from screen to screen. You see video previews for not only the titles, but also the collections in some cases. So you'll get a lot of nostalgia just touring through this. I mean, multiple times I said I was having a blast just going through the menus of this and seeing what it had to offer. Instantly, it takes me back to my childhood, and that's always a lot of fun. So I had a blast diving into games. Everything worked beautifully on here. So this goes up to PS2, and it's got, I mean, look how many PS2 games were on there. It was like 1,700 plus games just in that collection alone. So absolutely stacked. If you're wondering if your favorite game for these collections is in here, I promise you it is. It 100% has everything that you can imagine in here for the console collections, you know, that you would be accessing on this drive. So there are higher capacity drives offered from HyperArcade Systems. This is the 8 terabyte one, which is $335. So you're paying for, you know, the setup, the drive, and shipping. $335, which I think is fair for what you get here. If it was just thrown together, you know, like a lot of these plug and plays that you can get on like AliExpress, stuff like that, then I would say, all right, it's way too expensive. But this is seamless. Transitions, video previews, everything is scraped on here beautifully. Just attention to detail is through the roof on this product. So I don't think $335 is anything to be upset about. It's an 8 terabyte drive, very reliable. Now let's talk about the setup process. Is this plug and play? I know that's what most people are probably wondering right now. I wouldn't say that it's plug and play, because to me, plug and play is you take it out of the box, you attach it to your PC, connect it, and you're instantly able to jump into games. Not the case here. You do have to go through a little bit of a setup process here. For me, it took about 55 minutes is what it took for me, but it wasn't 55 minutes of me actively pushing buttons. It was more or less me hitting a couple buttons and it does its thing. So it's not like you have to sit there in front of your computer pulling your hair out, wondering what the heck you're doing. Are you ruining the drive? Are you ruining your computer? No, it's very straightforward, and HyperArcade Systems provides you with tutorial videos built into the drive that you can access. So what I did was I went into the files, I pulled those videos to one side, and then I followed along with the tasks on screen on the other side. So I'm constantly being kind of coached through the process, which made it really easy. Now, there's also a Discord from HyperArcade Systems that you can go on. You can, you know, go back and forth with the individuals behind this. They have a great community on there that's able to help you out. So I had a couple questions when I was first starting this up. Very responsive. They get back to you right away. So I think that's also something you have to take into consideration with the price point here. You are getting good customer service as well. So I had a blast. Everything performed really nicely on here. I didn't jump into a lot of gameplay demos here in the video. However, I did behind the scenes. I just didn't want to make this video any longer than I had to here. I know I always try to aim for videos to be like, you know, 15, 20 minutes. And I'm usually with review videos, especially something that is as stacked as this, going way over. So I wanted to go through and show you guys everything that's offered on here, because it's absolutely amazing. It looks great, it's well polished, it's reliable, and at $335, I don't think that it's a bad deal whatsoever. But you guys let me know what you guys think. For me, I love Launchbox, Big Box, but I actually gravitated towards everything else on here just because there's more bells and whistles, and I find that Big Box, Launchbox is pretty streamlined and simple. You just don't have access to quite as much as you do on like CoinOps, HyperSpin, and then RetroArch for me is just, I don't know, I'm used to Batacera. That's how I really got into emulation, or like higher level emulation. And because RetroArch is so similar to navigate as Batacera, that's like my comfort zone. I go there, but I branched out of it quite a bit here today. Spent more time in CoinOps and HyperSpin, and it's just absolutely incredible. Now you can also use light guns with this as well. You saw as we toured through the different collections, tons of light gun games on here, so you can bring all your favorite light guns into the mix here. It will work with literally everything. So I love that about this too. Compatibility is not an issue. So top-notch product here. Amazing games, great nostalgia, and you saw how smooth everything performed on here. I spent a lot of time specifically in GameCube today. For whatever reason, I just felt like I was in a GameCube sort of mood, so I spent a lot of time there. Jumped into some Dreamcast and N64, among other things, but GameCube is really where I just felt like hanging out today, and it was a blast. I mean, looks great. You can customize everything about this as well. If you don't want to be in 4:3 aspect ratio, you can stretch to 16:9 if you want to. You can customize anything. You can customize your menu screens. You can customize, you know, the video previews if you don't like those. If you don't want all those fancy transitions, you can get all that out of there too. So lots of different things can be done to make this your own experience and what you're specifically desiring, but awesome setup in my opinion. I wouldn't change a damn thing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video, and you can also get more information on what HyperArcade Systems offers with those higher capacity drives as well. So thank you guys so much for your time. I'll see you on the next one.